and welcome. I welcome you to this wonderful lesson and wonderful subject that is social studies, that is in Standard 8. In Standard 5, there was work for social studies. In Standard 6, the same. In Standard 7, the same. Now in Standard 8. Now, as you grow, you can observe that the work now is coming more and more. So all what you need is to stay focused. Pay attention, pay much attention to these things, because they are the ones that will take you from primary school to secondary school. When you go to secondary school, you wonder that in secondary school, some of these things you are going also to meet them there. So what I ask you is to pay more attention, pay more attention. So in social studies, Standard 8, the first unit that we are going to look at is the solar system. The solar system. So this is what we are going to look at. So in this lesson, we are going to define the solar system. We are going to look at the planets. You know, the Earth. We hear that scientists, they say that there are planets elsewhere apart from our Earth. So we are going to look at some of those things and the characteristics, some of the characteristics of the planets in the solar system. We are also going to look at a number of issues. At the end of the day, remember, there is an exercise that will require you to test if you have been following. So let's be together. Now, let us look at the solar system. So when you say the solar system, it is, or it refers to the sun and the planets. The sun and the planets. You know the sun. So that sun and other planets, that one is referred to as the solar system. So planets that we are talking about, the planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So these are the planets that we are talking about that make up the solar system. Remember, the sun and the planets. So these planets are the ones that we have just talked about. Mercury, Venus, the Earth, our own Earth. We live in Earth or on Earth. There is Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Although Pluto nowadays, because studies are on, Pluto has been removed to be qualified as a planet, so they don't regard that one as a planet. However, for our own studies, we take Pluto as one of the planets. So the 9 planets move around the sun and obtain their energy from the sun. The 9 planets move around the sun and obtain their energy from the sun. So what we are saying here is that all the planets that we have talked about, Mercury, Earth, and the like, they all move around the sun, and they obtain their energy from there. So the planets are at different distances from the sun. So when you talk of these planets, they are not stationed together or at the same distance from the sun. So the sun is somewhere here, but they are at different levels, So these planets that we are talking about, they are at different levels or at different distance. Some are near the sun, some are far away from the sun. So the distance at which each planet from the sun determines how many days or months it takes to go around the sun. So here, what we are saying is that the distance, therefore, matters. The distance, how that planet is stationed from the sun, that one determines how long it will take to go around the sun. How long? So the one that is near the sun, maybe it will take short. The other one that is far away from the sun, it will take some time. It will take too long, months or sometimes years to go around the sun. So that's what we are talking about here. So planets are scattered around the sun. So these planets, they are just scattered around the sun. So what does that mean? The sun is at the center, and the planets, they are just scattered around the sun. So they are found at different distances from the sun. They are found at different distances from the sun. Some planets go around the sun in a matter of days, while others, they take several years. So all the planets, they go around the sun. They go around the sun. So because of distance that they are stationed or they are positioned from the sun, some are closer, some are far away, then that's why we are saying that they take different times to complete their moving around the sun. So some take too long, some take too short. So that's what happens there. So here I have for you a small video clip that you need to follow through. So go through and pay attention to the video, then you are going to see how what we're talking about, the solar system. So the sun and all the 9 planets. I guess you have followed that video very well. And now let us proceed. Let us proceed by looking at the characteristics now of the planets. We have seen that video, how the Earth and the other planets go around the sun. That's what we are doing now. Everything that you have seen there is what is happening even now. So let us see now the characteristics of the planets. So the planets that we have just seen in that video clip, they obtain their heat energy from the sun. So as you have seen, the sun is at the center. Then they all go around the sun. They all go around the sun. Then they obtain energy. They obtain power. All the planets, they obtain their energy from the sun. They are round, as you have observed there. They are all round. They are all round, like a ball, maybe like a ball, but they are round. And they do not produce light of their own. All those planets, all the planets, the 9 planets that we have looked at, Jupiter, Mars, Earth, Venus, and the like, all those ones, they don't produce light of their own. And another characteristic is that some have natural satellites, which are also called moons. So some planets, they have the natural satellites. So those natural satellites, they are called the moons. For example, we know the moon. When it is at night, we can see the moon bright. So some planets, they have those satellites. So A moon is not a planet, it's just a satellite. So we have talked about that they are round. They are round, all the planets, and they go around the sun. All the planets, they go around the sun. That's another characteristics. Now, we have seen those characteristics of the planets. They don't produce light of their own. They depend on the sun or some satellites. Now, here, we need to know that some planets, as we have seen there, some planets are bigger, some are small. Some planets are bigger and others are small. So let us look at these planets. For example, Mercury, when we talk of Mercury, Venus, Pluto, they are smaller than the Earth in terms of radius. So Mercury, Venus, Pluto, they are smaller than the Earth. So the Earth, yes, is small, but there are also other smaller planets. What are these? Venus, Mercury, and Pluto. They are small in terms of their radius. And also Mercury, Venus, and Pluto, they are lighter than the Earth. Our Earth is heavier than Mercury, than Venus, than Pluto. So you have to also know about this. And also Mercury and Venus, they are closer. They are closer to the sun than the Earth. Mercury and Venus, they are closer to the sun than the Earth. So you can see there, there are planets. These planets, as we have said, they are stationed, they are positioned at different distances from the sun. So here we are saying that Mercury and Venus, they are closer to the sun. And again, Mercury and Venus, they go around the sun faster than the Earth. Mercury and Venus, they go around the sun faster than the Earth. I think you can suggest why here. The reason, you get it from the previous point here. Why? Because they are closer to the sun than the Earth. Something that is closer to this will move around faster than something that is there. It has to go a long distance. So that's what we are talking about. The Mercury and the Venus, they go around the sun faster than the Earth. And also, the Earth has life on it, while the other planets, they do not have any living things on them. Our Earth, where we are living, the planet where we are living, it is the only planet that is having life. All other planets, they do not have life. So look at it, we are breathing today because we are on Earth, and on Earth there is life. Apart from Earth, nowhere in the planets, in the solar system, do we have a planet that is having life. Now, having looked at that, let us now identify some of these planets. Some planets, as we have said, they are larger and others, they are smaller. The larger planets, I have here the larger planets. Number one, we have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These four planets, they are larger planets. They are bigger than the Earth. They are very big. They are the larger planets. Now, let us look at the smaller planets. The smaller planets. The smaller planets, we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. These ones, they are in the category of smallest planets. So the Earth, you can say the Earth is big, but it is categorized as small. So how big is Jupiter? How big is Saturn? I think one day you'll be an astronaut and go there and see how big Jupiter is. Now, let us look at Mercury. For example, Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. A special characteristic of Mercury is that it is the smallest planet in the solar system. Amongst all those planets that we have mentioned, Mercury is the smallest. And Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Largest planet in the solar system is Jupiter. And Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system. The second largest. So the largest, Jupiter. The second largest is Saturn. The smallest is Mercury. So that's what we have looked at here. So please observe this or know this, and you have to know them and revise them and see them that they become part of you. Know these things because they are really good. They are talking of the earth where we are living on. So to this far, we have come to the end of this unit. So in this unit, being the first unit, it is just an introduction to social studies. And we have started by looking at the solar system. We have looked at the planets and the characteristics of the planets. Please know these things. And if you have missed some of them, go back, start again, revise the video. But before I leave you, here with me is an exercise. So the exercise is here for you. Define the solar system. Number 2, mention the first 6 planets in the solar system. Give any 3 characteristics of planets. Number 4, explain any 2 common characteristics of Mercury and Venus as compared to the Earth. Understand this question. Question number 4, it needs understanding. You have to see what happens to Mercury and Venus. They are common as compared to the Earth. So we have talked about that. So understand the question. The last question is mention the largest and the second largest planet and the smallest planet. So this one is just simple. So mention these things. So let me leave you here and go through this exercise. You go through the exercise and compare if you have really had this. But in the next lesson, we are going to look at Unit 2. So in the Unit 2, we are going to look at the shape and movements of the Earth. The shape and the movements of the Earth. What is the shape of the Earth? And how does it move? We have seen that it goes around the sun. Is that the only movement of the Earth? So be there next time as we look at Unit 2. Until next time, thank you so much.